everybody? Lord Tremendous here. Got another battle report here for you. 2,500 point battle. Lord Tremendous of the Warriors of Chaos versus Prince Flem, also of the Warriors of Chaos. This is my chief Warriors of Chaos rival in my local area. He plays mostly Nurgle with a little bit of Khorne, and that's fine because I'm a huge fan of Nurgle. Not his mark or anything like that. I know the Nurgle mark is probably the best mark in Warhammer, but I just don't like the lore or the fluff behind Nurgle. I mean, he's supposed to be this dark evil god, or just this dark god. I won't even say evil. That really cares about us and really worries about you. That's so weird to me because he rots you from the inside, and per the fluff, you're immune to pain because the amount of agony you suffer with all the ailments and diseases that he makes you, puts on you and stuff like that, that you're just numb to pain. You don't feel anything anymore. You're just this walking husk of disgusting. And I can't get there. I don't understand why so many people like Nurgle. He's flippin' disgusting. I mean, do you like the stuff that you blow in your napkin, like when you have a cold or something like that, or your Kleenex? I mean, do you like that? Do you respect that? Do you keep it in your pocket and hope one day you can smear it all over your body and become that? Yeah, either do I, because that's flippin' disgusting. But a lot of people like them, and I guess that just makes me the weird one. I'm a Tzeentch man with a minor in Khorne because I respect them. Slaanesh, we respect each other mutually, but I'm devoted to Tzeentch, and with a definitely like a minor temple in my area for Khorne, because I can respect them. Tzeentch might manipulate you and use you, but he's a god. That's kind of his purpose. And Khorne is just honest, and I respect that. I want you to kill stuff, and I want you to make it bleed, and I want its skull. And if somebody does it better than you, I'm going to like them better because that's what I want. I want warriors, blood, and skulls. And if you do well, I'll boost you up. And if you do bad, you'll die, and I don't care. And that I can respect. I understand that. But enough about the pointless lore and my feelings on all of that, because here's my list. Excuse me. I have my Demon Prince, Lord Tremendous, with the Mark of Tzeentch. He's a level 3 wizard with the Chaos Armor, Charm Shield, Dragonbane Gem, other Trickster's Shards, Soul Feeder, Scaled Skin, Flaming Breath, and the Lore Metal. My hero choices are my Exalted Hero, Catalyst, the Keeper of Colors. Keeper of the Colors. He's got the Mark of Tzeentch. He's my BSB. He's got a Halberd, Chaos Steed, Helm of Many Eyes, and a Dawnstone. I have my other Exalted Hero, Berserk, who's got the Mark of Khorne. He's got the extra hand weapon. He's got a Luckstone, Dragon Helm, and a Crown of Command. Last but not least is my Chaos Sorcerer, Saval, the Mercenary of Chaos. He's got the Mark of Tzeentch. He's a level 2 wizard. He's on a demonic mount, Pack Hog. He's got the Warrior Bane, Enchanted Shield, Skull of Catan, Talisman of Protection, and uses the Lore of Tzeentch. My core choices are 5 Chaos Warhounds with Scaled Skin, 23 Chaos Warriors, Blood Tide, with Mark of Khorne, Full Command, Halberds, and the Banner of Fury. And I have my Chariot, the Vessel of Change, with the Mark of Tzeentch. My special choices are 5 Chaos Knights, the Teeth of Tzeentch, with the Mark of Tzeentch, and Sorcerer's Weapons, Banner, Musician, and Standard of Discipline. And my rare choices are 3 Skull Crushers, Khorne's Wrath, with Banner Musician, Lances, and a Banner of Swiftness, as well as the Mutalith, Vortex. Gotta love the beast. I don't know why you wouldn't. This right here is Prince Flem's army list, and it's actually his list. He actually printed one out so I could have it to show. And let me tell you what he had. He had a Demon Prince with the Mark of Nurgle, with Chaos Armor with Wings. It was a level 4 wizard with the Demon Blade, Scaled Skin, Soul Feeder, Dragon Helm, other Trickster Shard, and the Lore of Nurgle. His hero choices were his Chaos Sorcerer with the Mark of Nurgle, level 1 wizard with the Chaos Steed, Dispel Scroll, Dragonbane Gem, Enchanted Shield, and the Lore of Death. He had Throg because he likes a lot of core trolls in his army. And his Exalted Hero was Mark Khorne BSB on a Juggernaut with a Great Weapon, Charm Shield, and Talisman of Preservation. His core choices were 5 Chaos Warhounds with Vanguard, 5 Marauder Horsemen with Musician, and 17 Chaos Trolls with Hope and Prayer just devastated inside their unit. And his last choice was a unit of 7 Skull Crushers with Band of Musician, Ensorcelled Weapons, and a Razor Standard. These are my spells, 2 from Tzeentch, 3 from Metal, and 1 from the Beast. And these are his spells. He did not have cards, so well he had the Caressa land, but he didn't have any, or he had the Lower Death spells cards, but still doesn't have the Nurgle ones. So he had what's it called? The Demon Prince had Miasma of Pestilence, Blades of Putrefaction, and Curse of the Leper, as well as Fleshy Abundance. His sorcerer had Caressa land, which I kind of spoiled, but yeah, whatever. It is what it is. Here's deployment I remembered! And as you can see, it was pretty much, he went for kind of a denied flank, more centered squared a little bit. And I kind of spread out a little bit. When I saw where he put his Skull Crushers, I left my Skull Crushers and a Chariot over there, kind of as feed. The dogs were over there too, to either be fed to the Trolls or the Skull Crushers as needed. My Demon Prince was in the middle because I wanted to get his spells off. Meanwhile, my big bricks of warriors, knights, and the beast were way over on the left flank so that I could swoop around and deal with them that way, because it just seemed the most logical. Here's my opponent's center for the most part. Top left there is Marauder Horseman with his Chaos Sorcerer installed. Bottom left are his Warhounds with Vanguard, and they're Vanguarded up kind of nice. And his huge brick of Chaos Trolls with Thrall attached. Here's his left flank, which consists of his Demon Prince on the left there, and his Juggernauts, his Skull Crushers with his BSB attached. Here's my right flank, which consists of my Sacrificial Unit of Skull Crushers and my Tzeentch Chariot, Vessel of Change. Here's my center. There's Saval right behind the dogs there. Right next to them is Lord Tremendous, my Demon Prince. Next to him is my unit of Chaos Warriors with Berserk installed. And my left flank, there's the Beast and my Knights with my BSB. So here's top of one after movement, and as you can see, I didn't go first. He did. And he did pretty much the only thing he could do. He came forward. The dogs ran up to sacrifice themselves, I guess, and everything else just came up to eat my lunch, which was rude because it was going to be a great lunch. During his magic phase or something like that, he gets Rancid Visitations off on the dogs. And after doing this battle report, I realized he didn't have Rancid Visitations at all, which was a little disheartening, to say the least. But it was an honest mistake. Stuff happens. And I only lose one dog because I immediately passed their toughness check. But I'm going to have to remember to watch magic spells a little bit closer. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think that he did it on purpose. It was an honest mistake. It comes with, not having the cards and stuff like that. But for tournament purposes, like when I get to the Shiloh, not saying that anybody that's going to be up there is going to be a scumbag or anything like that. But people are people. We all make mistakes. And I didn't even realize it until I was doing this slideshow that I was like, oh, yeah, he didn't have Rancid Visitations. But just to make it all mesh and go good, the dog didn't die to Rancid Visitations. It was just his time. He was an old dog. He was 18 years old, loyal to the cause, and he died of natural causes right here on the battlefield. Total coincidence. You saw it here. Only time you'll ever see it, the dog just died of natural causes in the middle of a fight. Very cool thing to witness. Consider yourself blessed. Also, during his magic phase, he gets Curse of the Leper off on his trolls, adding +1 toughness to them, which I didn't care because I had no intention of charging him. However, he gets +1 wound and +1 toughness on his Demon Prince because he rolls a 6 on his lore attribute, which is just fantastic. So we go to bottom 1 after movement, and as you can see, my plan starts to come to fruition. Saval runs around because I want to get Infernal Gateway off on his Demon Prince if I can. The Knights slam into the dogs because I just want to get them out of the way. Meanwhile, the Chariot and the other dogs are up there to bait and switch the trolls and to make it so that they don't start turning towards my main lines because I want flanks and rears on these guys. It's the only way I'm going to be able to deal with them. There's a better picture of my knights slamming into his dogs. Why they stayed, I don't really know, but they did, and I will kill them. I don't probably have a problem with that at all. During the magic phase, the beast gets his spell off on the Marauder Horseman. He just makes them cause fear. I roll a 1, so now they cause fear. But that's fine. I was really hoping for the toughness checks. There's only toughness 3. And I got 2, which is good enough for a panic check, which they passed. But still, it's 2 now. There's no way for them to be steadfast anymore, and that's really all I was looking for. Also in my magic phase, I irresistible force through final transmutation on the trolls, and I get Throg. Oh, it was glorious. Because, whenever I get, well, you don't know this, but whenever I get final transmutation off, I always roll for the characters first, because that's the exciting part. And on a 6, they're dead. There's nothing you can do about it. They're just dead. DRT, dead right there. And glory be to Zinch, I turned Throg into a golden statue of putrid filth. And I was happy. Happy. My opponent, I do this to him all the time, and he was like, no! And then I roll 17 more dice for the other trolls, needing 6s, and I only roll 1 on 17 dice, and you know what? I don't even care. We were joking about it. You know what it was? It was a surgical final transmutation. I got Throg and the little bastard next to him, and that's it. That's all it was for. Totally worth it. I was thrilled. I didn't care if I miscast 1. I was thrilled. But I didn't. I miscast 8, as you can see there. Tremendous is able to make his ward save. However, Saval takes the wound. So I killed Throg and a troll, and all I did was well, my magic phase was over because I lost like 6 dice from the pool afterwards. But Saval takes a wound, and Throg and a troll are dead. Totally worth it. I would make that sacrifice every single game if I could. And I was shocked, but believe it or not, my knights actually were able to kill all 5 of the wolves. No problem. Didn't even have to pursue them. We just murdered them. And now I understand why people kill my dogs all the time. It's actually kind of fun. So, speaking of fun, we go to top of 2. And there's a little bit of movement. The trolls charge the dogs, who flee, because I don't want them going too far ahead of me. The trolls then redirect, because the Demon Prince is right next to him and the BSB is right there too, into the chariot, which I was okay with because all I was thinking was, well, I'm going to flee with that too. So the chariot flees and gets away and the trolls don't make it. Well, unfortunately, the Skull Crushers charge the chariot, and the chariot flees like 10, 11 inches or something like that, which was enough, as you can see in the picture, to make him go off the table. So I do lose my chariot, unfortunately, but it is what it is. The trolls and the Skull Crushers end up failing their charge or failing their charges. The Skull Crushers do try to redirect into Saval, and they need an 11 to hit him, and he needed a 12 to hit him, he rolls an 11. So it's like, whoo, Saval, you lucky bastard. Meanwhile, his Marauder Horseman and his caster do what they can, and his Demon Prince run over to try to protect the flank of the trolls, because they see my Demon Prince, my Beast, and my Knights right there looking for a reason. But honestly, I didn't have any intention of charging the flank of the trolls yet, because until I know their leadership is 4, there's no reason to charge into them, because I just need them to be lower than that so I can kill them. So I was going to magic the hell out of the Demon Prince. There's a better picture of the failed charges, just where everything ended up. And there's a better picture of my chariot fleeing off the table. It was a damn shame, but I still say 120 points to keep those guys chaffed up was totally worth it. His magic phase does nothing, and he's got no shooting phase, so we go to bottom of 2. And as you can see, my Demon Prince charges into his Marauder Horseman, because I just wanted to kill off his caster. I was tired of Curse of Lanif. I was tired of him having an extra die to roll for channeling. And honestly, it was just an easy way to get some quick points. Meanwhile, the Mulith came up because I was going to try to mess with the trolls a little bit, and since I wasn't going after his Demon Prince, I wanted the Demon Prince to have multiple choices of charging, whether that was going to be my Mulith, my Knights, or my Warriors. I didn't care, but I wanted him to have multiple choices to charge, and I didn't know. I didn't know what else to do. Meanwhile, Saval ran over to get a hold of his Demon Prince, just because I wanted to try to soften them up a little bit. The dogs actually rallied on their own leadership, which was mind-boggling, and one of the main reasons those damn dogs will be in every list. And the Skull Crushers, because I was going to get charged anyway, I charged his Skull Crushers with mine. In hindsight, I should have left my Skull Crushers right the frick where they were, or moved them up so that they were right in front of the Skull Crushers, so that they were way out of range, because they'd hit him, kill him, and overrun or pursue, and be basically out of the game. But I didn't do that. I charged because I'm stupid, and I made a mistake. So, yeah, guess what happens with that one, right? Yeah, I made a mistake here. I shouldn't have charged my Skull Crushers in, but I did, and that's why I play these practice games, so that when I go to the GT, I don't make these mistakes. I still will, but I shouldn't make those mistakes, and that's what's important. Also, one thing to note about this is, see that little white die there with the number 1 on it? Yeah, that's Miasma Pestilence. Currently, my Skull Crushers are -1 weapon skill and initiative, which means all of his Skull Crushers get to go first, hitting on threes, wounding on threes. So that's that. Oh, yep, that's on me. That's completely on me. I know, I know. Judge, go ahead. And there's a better picture of Tremendous slamming into the Marauders with the little Chaos Sorcerer in there that's got to die. During the magic phase, Saval. Oh, do I love Dolores Zinch. Irresistible forces through Infernal Gateway. The intention with this spell was not to kill the Demon Prince. Don't get me wrong, that's great that the Demon Prince died. But the intention of this spell was to soften up the Demon Prince so that whatever he ran into, I could, possibly kill him off, or maybe deter him from charging. That was the entire purpose of this spell. I had no intention of it going off as irresistible. I think I threw 4 or 5 dice at it. It went off irresistible. I wasn't thrilled, but I wasn't discouraged. I was worried about losing Saval. But he rolls 9 strength, 9 hits against it. But I'm like, oh my god, I might kill him. 7 of them wound. He makes 2 of his ward saves. 2 or 3 of his ward saves, which means 4 go through. He had 5 wounds, but he took a wound earlier. So he died. Honestly, I don't remember what he took a wound from. I think maybe it was a miscast or something like that. Not 100% on that. But he did take a wound from earlier, and he died. No, he didn't take a wound from earlier. I apologize. He took 5 wounds. He made 2 of his ward saves. 5 wounds went through. He died, which was awesome. So, yeah, what was just supposed to be a, hey, let's soften up this big bad monster so that the rest of my army could take him on later, turned into, nope, I'm just going to kill him flat out right here and be done with it. So, Saval immediately rolls an Eye of the Gods chart and rolls at 11. So now he has a 4-up ward save, which is awesomer! There is not a strong enough for how awesome that truly is. And then his miscast turns into a 7. He rolls a 7 for the miscast, and he's not in base to base with anything. So I lose some dice with the power pool. Don't care. Don't need any more magic phase after that, right? So, yep. All the benefit and none of the weakness. Now I know what it feels like to be a Dark Elf with Laura Life. So, anyway, we go over to this other combat with my Demon Prince versus his Chaos Sorcerer, because the Chaos Sorcerer has to issue a challenge, and since Tremendous is the only one in combat with him, he has to accept it. So he does, because, I'm a giver. And I only am able to slip through 1 wound because he makes all of his 4-up armor saves, which is actually kind of impressive. So not only that, but with a charge and a wound to nothing, I win by 2, and he makes his break check with no reroll. It was very cool. So you gotta give it to the Sorcerer. He hung tough against the Demon Prince and losing by 2. Meanwhile, over here, my Skull Crushers explode. I think I do a wound to him. I think I get 1 through. But yeah, my Skull Crushers get killed, and it was pretty much inevitable. I mean, I guess you could see it coming from a mile away as long as you weren't blind or stupid or anything like that. They die. The Skull Crushers do end up pursuing the banner guy, but he dies obviously the minute he breaks. But it was still considered a pursual or an overrun. He's frenzied. He has to, and he does. So we go to top of 3 after movement, and as you can see, there's been a little bit. The Skull Crushers charge dogs. For what reason, I don't know. But they do. And the dogs stay because I'm perfectly fine with him, charging the dogs and having fun killing them. I'm hoping Saval makes his break check because my BSB is just out of range. But you know what? Saval made his points. He killed the Demon Prince, and yeah, he didn't die from that. So, as far as I'm concerned, Saval's made his points back. So, if he flees off the table, he's earned it. I would pay him handsomely. And the trolls are stupid, so everything works out. Here's a better picture of his Skull Crushers slamming into my dogs. And I have no delusions that the dogs are going to do anything but get smeared on the ground for this combat. The trolls are stupid, and they stumble forward 4 inches, 2 inches, 3 inches. Ooh, who cares? They stumble forward and do nothing else, which is expected now that they're leadership 4. Right here, yeah, the Skull Crushers happily accept the sacrificial dogs and charge. They don't go off the table. He only overruns like 5 inches, but it's enough to put him out of the combat and pretty much out of the game. And right here, my Demon Prince is able to kill off the Sorcerer, which is exactly what I wanted to do. And while the Marauder Horsemen do lose combat and break, Lord Tremendous deems to not pursue them because now that the trolls have what's it called? Been stupid and moved forward, it's beautiful flank charges all across the board. So I'm perfectly fine with letting the Marauders rally or whatever. I couldn't care less about the 110 points they're worth. I want the trolls. There's a lot of points there that still need to be picked up. So here's bottom of 3 after movement, and unfortunately in this one, my knights are stupid. Sucks, but it is what it is. The Helm of Many Eyes, I rolled a 10 and an 11, so what can you do? Their Leadership 9 with a Banner of Discipline, I rolled 2 10s or something like that, what can you do? So they were stupid and they stumbled forward like 4 inches. The Warriors, they needed like a 10 to hit the Trolls, they rolled an 8, I wasn't hugely upset with that, but the Beast and the Demon Prince slam into the flank of the Trolls, and with Flaming Breath and everything, I'm hoping that it's I'm hoping that it's enough. Because even if they're steadfast, which they will be, they're leadership 4 with no reroll because the BSB is out of range. So there's a better picture of the Demon Prince and the Beast going into the Trolls. And there's a better picture of my Warriors failing their charge into the Trolls. Not a huge shock, but kind of disappointing. And there's my Knights being stupid. Well, you know, the Helm of Many Eyes, it showed him something pretty and he got confused and he had to go check it out. I guess that's understandable. During the magic phase, I was attempting to draw out Dispel dice by getting Glittering Robes off. I was going to pull out some of his Dispel dice with a Glittering Robe, thinking that, you know, oh, he doesn't want my Warriors to be, you know, 2-up armor and my character to be a 1-up armor, you know, for a full turn. So he's going to try to stop that because he thinks he's got plenty of wounds. And then I was just going to Infernal Gateway the hell out of his out of his Skull Crushers with Saval because it works. I have to soften that unit up. I have to do something, right? Well, I Irresistible Force through Glittering Robes on like 3 dice, and it's like, damn it! And the miscast ends up being a 7. Both trolls that he's in base-to-base contact with make their regen save, so I think that's a lie. I think 1 takes a wound, but the Beast ends up taking a wound too, and it always hurts my feelings when the Beast is wounded. So it was unfortunate, and it ends up losing the rest of my the rest of my magic dice. So magic is over, so we go to combat. And Flaming Breath immediately takes out like 2 or 3 of the trolls, gets rid of their regen. The ensuing attacks are just glorious, just absolutely glorious. I kill 4 trolls. 4 trolls die. No, 5 trolls. 4 or 5 trolls. 4 trolls die. And that's enough. That's enough to win combat by a poop ton, so they need a leadership 4 in order to stay, and they don't. The Beast and the Demon Prince pursue. We both fail to catch them, which is unfortunate. I think the Beast actually rolled like a 10, and the Trolls rolled an 11, which was unfortunate. But, yep, they get away, but they're on the move now, and they're leadership 4. They ain't coming back. So we go to top of 4 after movement, and as you can see from my turn counter, I think this is where I screw up. I think I turn the thing too much. I move it over to top of 5. We end up missing turn 6 because of that. We think we're 1 turn further ahead at this point than we really are. That's my fault. I got to put a little arrow on my turn counter or something like that so I can better tell what turn I'm on. This happened before, so I'll just doctor it. Not a big deal, but this is my fault that we missed a turn, and honestly, I don't think it would have changed the outcome of the game. I think it would have just been a closer game. But we'll never know, unfortunately. But this is where it gets screwed up a little bit. His Skull Crushers do turn to go after the Warriors, who, you know, are really not into that, getting flank charged by Skull Crushers. And the Trolls fail to rally and continue to flee like 7 or 8 inches towards the board edge, which is perfect. There's a better picture of the Trolls fleeing off the table, or getting closer to fleeing off the table. Oh yeah, his Marauder Horsemen, they do rally, which I really don't care about. So here's bottom of 4 after movement. We think it's bottom of 5. Again, that's my fault. I take full responsibility. My Knights aren't stupid this time, thank God. So my Knights and my Warriors both move up in order to get out of the charge arc of the Skull Crushers, and Saval moves back 22 inches away so that they can't charge me. Meanwhile, the Demon Prince tries to come over and deal with the Skull Crushers, and the Mutalith charges the Trolls and sees them off the table because I cannot have them rally. I need the points in order to win the game. There's a better picture of the Trolls getting escorted off the table by the Mutalith because he's the Beast. My magic phase does nothing, believe it or not. So we go into top of 5, and the Skull Crushers turn around to go after the Warriors. But again, we think it's the top of 6 because of my shoddy what's it called? Turn counter usage. I swear to God, guys, I didn't do that on purpose. I know what it looks like. But yeah, that was just a tragic error on my fault, on my part, and I apologize. But yeah, the Skull Crushers move around to try to get that rear charge on the Warriors. But again, we think it's top of 5. It's really, or we think it's the top of 6. It's really the top of 5. We should have had more combat. And so anyway, we go through all this motion. Nothing else happens, so we go to what we think is the bottom of 6. It's really the bottom of 5, and the only thing that happens in this turn is Saval is able to blue flame Zinch the Marauders off the table. And that's pretty much it. We think it's bottom of 6. It's really the bottom of 5. I would have turned my characters around, or I would have actually, what I would have done is I would have taken my Demon Prince and thrown them in front of the Skull Crushers and just been like, no, you're gonna have to charge me, pal. You ain't charging my Warriors. This is just not happening. And that would have been that. They probably, obviously they would have charged the Demon Prince, just try to kill him. The BSB would have issued a challenge. We'd have fought. More than likely, my Demon Prince would have survived, and he would have lost combat, but who cares? It'd have gone like that for a couple of turns, and hopefully, I would have survived, but who knows? Meanwhile, yeah, worst comes worst, I lost my Demon Prince, but even if that had happened, or if, I let him charge into the Warriors, I would have lost them. But even if they had killed the Warriors or the Demon Prince, I would have, I still think I would have won this game, because while he does have 500-600 points tied up in Skull Crushers, I think it's like 611 or something like that, and another, what is it for an Exalted Hero on the Juggernaut, like 265, 256, something crazy like that. So even though he's got about 870 points in still on the table, it wouldn't have made the difference. I still have a decent amount of points left on the table. Even if I had lost my Demon Prince, I would have still probably won this game. But yeah, here it is. There's the end of the game right there. And that's what the table looks like. The Marauders are even tilted, so you know. But we'll get to the recap in a minute, because right now it's time for a quick timeout. Tokens, fellas. Tokens. Wound counters, augment markers, hex markers, every status, ailment, and effect you can think of, from not being able to move to the lore attributes to the lore hexes and bonuses that they provide. Everything that you can think of that you could need a marker for, that we use dice for, Token Grail makes the tokens. Send her an email, tell her what you need. Any gaming system, from Magic the Gathering to Infinity to Malifaux to 40k to Fantasy, whatever you need tokens for, she will make them, and they come out they're flawless. Look at them. They're the glass beads. They magnify the words in the picture, so they're really easy to see from the tabletop and everything like that. They're a lot more accurate than dice, and they're dirt cheap, guys. She sells them for less than $10 a kit. Dirt cheap prices, solid gold quality. Totally worth it. Send her an email, get yourself some tokens. The only request that I make is that if you are overseas, if you're outside of America, before you send her an email, you have to understand that shipping prices are through the roof. So as long as you're okay with paying like $30+ shipping fees, don't send her an email, because it's just going to waste both your times. But if you are in America or you don't mind high shipping fees, then by all means, send her an email, get yourself some tokens. Totally worth it. So, yep, it was a victory for Lord Tremendous. In the end, there was just no point in totaling it up. We knew I won. I ended up losing my dogs, my Skull Crushers, and my Chariot. Prince Flem lost everything but the Skull Crushers and his BSB, which I'm fine with. I like winning. It's a nice change of pace, Piss poor turn tracking on my part. Lost a whole turn between 4 and 5. I saw it, in the battle report as I was making it, where the mistake was made. Completely my fault. I got tore up because of everything else that was going on. Just I don't have the brain capacity, I guess. But definitely my fault. Definitely, I apologize to my opponent about that. But I honestly think that even if we had played another turn, I maybe would have lost my warriors and berserk at the worst. More than likely, I'd have moved my demon prince up in front and just hoped that he could weather their attacks, the BSV's attacks, long enough to live or whatever. I didn't really have anything else to sacrifice. Maybe throwing Saval in front of him, sacrificed him because he was just cheaper and moved the warriors and the demon prince out of the way. Something like that, but we'll never know, unfortunately. It just wasn't meant to be. But I think I still would have won this game regardless, but that sucks when you win like that. It was a mistake, and thank God it was just a friendly game, huh? But to get back into the actual gameplay, how about Lord Tremendous and that surgical accuracy with Final Transmutation? Taking out Throg, even got an extra troll for his trouble, you know? Oh man, that was awesome. Starting to figure this army out, or my luck is starting to get better, one of the two, but I'll take either way. You know, I'd rather be lucky than good any day. But great game, great opponent, and looking forward to a rematch with 6 turns this time. Oh, I hate it when stuff like that happens. But, you know, the first person that could raise their hand to claim they've played a perfect game of Warhammer is the first person I'd point at and call a liar and a deluded fool. So don't raise your hand. It's a trick. It's a trick. But I hope you guys enjoyed this one as much as I did. It's going to wrap up this battle report. Big number 8-2 right here. Ooh, we're encroaching. But really enjoying doing this. Really enjoying all the comments and chatting with you guys on here. So by all means, leave any comments, questions, concerns, or complaints in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to get back to you. But yeah, guys, thanks.